number 12. Number 12 says, what is the correct way to write sentences 35 and 36? This is not asking us to change anything, okay? This is asking us what the correct way to write sentences 35 and 36 are. We still need to go back and we still need to find sentences 35 and 36. Okay, here's 35, we're going to underline, and 36. Okay, let's read them and see if we can figure out the best way to write them is. Besides, I don't think we would have laughed nearly as hard if our cookies had been just perfect. Okay, so they have a period right here. That's something that I notice. Okay, so whenever we see a period, we have to break, right? Did it sound right when I broke right there? It doesn't sound right to me. Also, if you look at this sentence, let's take besides off. I don't think we would have laughed nearly as hard. I know that. I don't think we would have laughed nearly as hard. That's leaving me wanting more, okay? I want more to this sentence. I know that if our cookies had been just perfect. Same thing. That doesn't make sense if I put I know that in front of it and read it. It should make sense if it is a complete sentence. I know that if our cookies had been just perfect. That doesn't make sense because this is a predicate, just a predicate. It's missing a subject. Okay? All right. So if we took this period out, do you think that would solve the problem? Let's see. Besides, I don't think we would have laughed nearly as hard if our cookies had been just perfect. Okay, so we're combining the two sentences by deleting the comma. Let's see if that's an answer choice. F says, besides, I don't think we would have laughed nearly as hard if our cookies had been just perfect. That's exactly what we decided that we were going to do, because remember, the period was right here, and we said we could just delete the period. Okay, so this is that sentence if we just deleted the period to make it one sentence. G says, besides, I don't think. Does that sound right? That didn't sound right to me. That sounds really incomplete. That's a big fragment right there. I'm going to put an F above it for fragment because fragment means incomplete. It's an incomplete thought. That we would have laughed nearly as hard if our cookies had been just perfect. Again, this is a fragment because it's missing something. This is missing a subject and this one's missing a predicate. H says, besides, I don't think that we would have. Would have what? Again, this is missing a predicate. Has the subject, missing the predicate. And what I mean by that, guys, laughed is our verb. Laughed is our main verb. That's our simple predicate, okay? I is my main subject, my simple subject, okay? So we can't have one without the other one being part of the same sentence. Both of these sentences have the verb in a different sentence than the subject. That's what creates fragments. If it's missing a subject or if it's missing a predicate, it does not have all of its parts and it is called a fragment. Okay? So laughed nearly as hard if our cookies had been just perfect is missing a subject. It's also a fragment. Okay? They're just little parts of sentences. They're not the whole complete thought. And then J says sentences 35 and 36 are written correctly. Well, we know that they're not because they didn't sound right. They were missing part. Okay, so this one can't be it either. So our answer is F because it has our simple subject and our simple predicate in the same sentence. I would break my sentence right here. Okay, between the two. This side is my subject and this side is my predicate. Okay? All right. That is where we finished our practice passage, kitchen lessons. I want to point out one more thing before we go. On your brainstorming, I have an assignment on your canvas where you need to take a picture of your brainstorming. I want to see the whole part, both parts of your brainstorming. So the first part was where we were brainstorming all of our different kinds of favorite foods, and we chose one to write about. And then I want the second part where you're using your target to come up with reasons why that food was your favorite food. I want to see both parts. So take a picture where I can see both parts and submit it through Canvas. You're going to do that just like you did your science pictures, where you took a picture and you uploaded it of the solids, liquids, and gases. So go ahead and do that, and I will get back on those as soon as I can. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and can't wait to start next week.